Darren and Beth Linwood always dreamed of having a son, but when young amnesiac runaway Adam enters their lives, he brings with him a creeping darkness that threatens to engulf their family and everyone around them. When Adam's memories claw their way to the surface, Darren finds himself haunted by thoughts of his own childhood, and of a boy very much like Adam who was done an unspeakable wrong. As buried secrets are unearthed, the Linwoods' happy home becomes the hunting ground for a relentless evil and an obsession that will not die. Hi friends, it is Sam and welcome back to my Vlogtober Spooky Readathon. Since we're very close to Halloween, I thought I'd spook you all with a preppy as hell outfit today. My penultimate book in my Spooky Readathon list is The Orphan by Christopher Ransom. I found this book in a second-hand bookshop for £2.49. It's about a spooky boy, a little boy that brings horror into the lives of two adults and their daughter. I have read two chapters this morning. I read in bed because the dog came and trapped me in bed, laid on my duvet so I couldn't get up without disturbing the sleeping angel, and that's not an option. So I've read two chapters already. So I've got a bit of background on Darren, the main character. He is a bit of an entrepreneur. He's a millionaire. He has like this excellent mansion in Boulder. He has a massive BMX collection. He and his wife set up a charity auction selling some of his beloved BMXs, and in the first chapter there's a creepy beardy man. It's a theme, it's an ongoing theme. Creepy men. He goes to confront this beardy man who seems quite angry at him, but his wife gets in the way and the creepy man disappears. So Darren wakes up one summer morning from a nightmare that his house is aflame. He goes about his nightly routine of going through his house in the middle of the night and checking that nothing's on fire. And his BMX showroom is separate from his house, so when he looks out the window to check that nothing's on fire out there, he sees that the lights are on and there is an intruder. So that's how far I've got so far. I actually have nothing to do today, so I could read a big chunk of this, but I thought, hey, let's take some responsibility and clean our room. Seems like a good idea. My room is an absolute state. I'm going to do that before I allow myself to read again, because as well as that, my camera battery has not yet recovered from the Spooky Readathon this month. So I'm going to let my camera charge. I'm going to tidy my room, and then we will think about losing ourselves in a book. Vegan tomato soup, and I've read 73 pages of my book. So since Darren discovered that there might be an intruder in his showroom, he went and had a look and he found a wooden crate, and it contained a rare and immaculate BMX. No explanation, no note. Just parts of a BMX. Sorry, I'm chopping an onion. I might start crying in a minute. As he builds it, he cuts open his thumb. So he's like bleeding profusely from his thumb. As he starts to pass out, the bike wheel starts spinning frantically. But before he can do anything, he passes out. His daughter wakes up at about 4 AM because her boyfriend's been texting her. Yeah, I'm crying. God's sake, onions. She gets mysterious messages on the screen of her phone, but it's clearly not text because the screen is blank and it's just white words flashing up. These messages on her phone are death threats. So she starts freaking out and she tries to show her mum the texts and they're gone. In between these chapters of Darren and his daughter, we get an introduction to Adam, who is the orphan. He wakes up in a forest and he's running from a being. It's established that this being is not human. At first I thought that it was like a childish thing, like he was pretty sure that it was a demon, but because he's a child it's just a big scary person. But he is about 10 or 11, so he has enough sense to know the difference between a monster and a human being, I would assume. So he's got like monsters chasing him. At first I thought they were werewolves, but now I think they might be ghosts, and maybe he's a ghost. I'm getting like ghost vibes from this book. The metaphors in it are beautiful and I really like Ransom's writing style. I'm still crying. But yeah, now that I've established Adam is 10 or 11, I'm just picturing Philosopher's Stone Daniel Radcliffe. Adam managed to escape the woods and hide in someone's basement because some idiot left their basement open. He doesn't really know who he is, like the only thing he knows is his name, and he's got a backpack full of stuff. So we're gonna learn a little bit more about him, hopefully. But first, I gotta prep for my soup. Ever since I went vegan, I've wanted tomato soup because it's always been my favourite. And I found a recipe and now I use it very often. But it's very nice. It's exactly like I remember tomato soup being, so I am thrilled. Humming noise, that's the dehumidifier, but I am about to have a bath. I'm ashamed to say I leave birthday presents for many months before I actually use them, so I haven't yet used this Harry Potter house bath bomb that Louise gave me for my birthday. So I'm gonna get sorted. Hopefully I'll get the right house. Slytherin. Spoiler, I think it's about to be wrong. Good morning. It is Saturday. My car is steamed up, so I'm just trying to sort that out. I'm wiping my windscreen while I'll tell you about my book, okay? The demon type dudes who are chasing Adam, he calls them the Nocturnals, and they're described as like alien looking things. Found the house he was hiding in. They didn't find him, but there was a family in there, and they killed them and used them as a satanic ritual. So that took a turn I wasn't expecting. Also, Darren's daughter Rhea kind of has a gift for like small premonitions. Because of this, Darren is scared that his dreams of fire are premonitions. So that'll be interesting. I have read some reviews on Goodreads of this book and it's not getting very favourable reviews. The blurb kind of doesn't match the novel and I'm fine with that. Like, the only criteria for this readathon is that there was like elements of spook, and we've got that, so I won't let that kind of sway my review in any way. The chapter I'm about to read is a chapter about a guy called Pete, and he's a car salesman about to help a woman, and that is exactly what happened in Dreamcatcher. The character Pete was a car salesman and he had to help a woman find her keys. So I was like, that's a mad parallel. Adam has just stolen a bike so that he can escape the people he calls the Nocturnals. And I assume that him like riding the bike is sort of the premonition type thing that Darren saw when the BMX he was mysteriously gifted started spinning. From the blurb, I thought that they were gonna adopt Adam and that he would just be kind of murderous. But this is a completely different book from what I expected, which is fine. I am open-minded when it comes to books. As long as I enjoy them, I don't mind. I've still like got this sneaking suspicion that Adam is a ghost and that these Nocturnals are trying to guide him towards the light maybe, but then why would they be doing satanic rituals? I'm not sure. I have just been to Asda and I got some rather exciting things. I got the new vegan galaxy flavors. You got the cookie crumble and the mint. I got some spooky vanilla Oreos. And for all you Scrooges out there, you might want to cover your ears for this one. I bought some mince pies. Also, Asda has a brand new vegan section, so that's exciting. I got some vegan tuna in there. It's very good, so I'm excited for lunchtime. But this video is not about groceries, even though I'm probably gonna show you my snacks at some point. This video is about spooky books. I read a chapter in bed this morning. That chapter I mentioned yesterday with the car salesman and the damsel in distress. Basically, she kind of, oh, this is good lighting, isn't it? She kind of absorbed his spirit and murdered his body. And I have no idea how that ties into the other characters and the main plot. So that's going to be interesting to find out. But that's literally all I've read today. We are 214 pages in to The Orphan by Christopher Ransom, and you're starting to get a sense of how the characters' stories overlap. So we'll start with Sheila. It would appear that she was Adam's sister. I have a sort of feeling that Adam has her same ability of like body swapping, but I can't be certain. Darren briefly knew Adam as a 12-year-old boy. He and his friends sort of like let Adam hang out with them one afternoon, and then sort of trashed his BMX, and it may have got him killed by his father. His dad was an angry type, and he beat his child. So when Adam got home with his smushed up bike, Darren has a suspicion that his father killed him. Adam is dead and probably a ghost, which actually explains why he managed to rob a store and no one caught him, and why he managed to sleep in a park and no one like prodded him like, yo, 12-year-old boy, what you doing sleeping in a park? Darren's mum is kind of aware of Adam's ghostly existence, so I think that like sort of premonition-y paranormal senses run in Darren's family, because you've got his mum who can see Adam, you've got Darren who has these dreams that feel real and might be premonitions, and then you've got Rhea who can sort of tell when something's about to happen. I really want to know how the Nocturnals tie into this. Are they Adam and Sheila's parents maybe? Because like they do the satanic rituals, you know. What's going on? I have another 9 to 6 work shift tomorrow, so I'll probably get a chapter read beforehand and then read a little bit afterwards, but I probably won't get much of this read tomorrow. I'm about to make fajitas. Adam and Darren have finally met. Adam was trying to flee the Nocturnals on a stolen bike and he crashed into Darren's car. Darren thought he recognized him, but he was like, obviously that's not possible, because he is still an 11-year-old boy and I am a 40-year-old man. So clearly this can't be Adam. He manages to get Adam to come home with him. He shows him his bike collection and Adam is completely in awe, but thinking that he's gonna be a danger to Darren and his family, Adam runs away again. Darren also goes to find his one of his old friends who also encountered Adam when they were young, and his friend told him a little story about Adam's sister Sheila. One time, Darren's friend Tommy saw Sheila floating with symbols all over her naked body, and she kind of haunted him for several weeks after that. The book also confirmed that Adam's family are Satanists. He and his family are indeed alive and not actually ghosts. And the Nocturnals are his parents. They're all after him so that they can sap his powers, which I assume he gleaned from his parents' Satanism, but like never wanted to use because he didn't want to hurt anyone. Okay, so I just read another chapter, right, and I can confirm Adam's dead. Adam's dead and he's been possessing Darren. Right, so Darren thinks he's been having conversations with Adam. And he thinks he's been like passing out. But really, he's been sharing his body with Adam. Beth, Darren's wife, she went to the supermarket, right? And she ran into an old friend. And the old friend was like, yo, I seen your husband stealing stuff. He just walked out with a bag of groceries, and like it clicked in my head, like Adam was stealing groceries and someone saw him asleep in a park. Adam was asleep in a park. That's actually quite gutting, you know? I was quite happy that Adam was alive. So I finished this book this morning. I am under the impression that the people who reviewed this on Goodreads did not read to the end. I mean, like the negative reviewers who said that the blurb has nothing to do with the plot, because I feel like after reading the book and then rereading the blurb, it kind of describes the plot. When you think all the loose ends have been tied together, another curveball is thrown at you. It's absolute madness, right? I last left off when Darren told Beth that he had been the one to kill Adam, and I was like, you what? You what? For a brief chapter I was very confused. I was like, that just seems very out of character for Darren. So we venture back into the past and we learn a little bit more about Adam's childhood. He was part of a Satanist cult family, as we already knew, and he hated them. He didn't want to murder people and perform rituals with their organs, so he was like, you know what? I'm gonna save me some money, get me a bike, and like ride away into the sunset. He mows lawns, right, for $5 per lawn. He picks up dog poops, he cleans a chicken coop, and he makes every single dollar of the $579 he needs for this perfect Chinelli bike. So he goes to the place where he's hiding all his cash, and his horrible sister has found it and given it to their Satan parents. So Adam's means for escape kind of collapse. In his anger and disappointment at having his dreams crushed, he sets fire to his family's trailer. He claims to not know that his family's in there, but he conveniently neglects to look in the closet where his sister often resides because she's weird, and his parents' bedroom. Sheila, his sister, kind of wakes up as the fire's raging, and she gets their parents out, but their parents are horrifically burnt, which is why they look like crusty aliens. While Adam's in the forest, Darren Linwood comes to see him, and he's like, yo, take my life. Don't be Adam anymore, be Darren. You know you want to be me, I'm rich and I got loads of bikes, be Darren. And I'm like, hang on, what's happening? So Owen's gonna do the thing that Sheila did in the Pete chapter where he goes into Darren's body and murders Adam. Why would Darren volunteer himself to do that? But it turns out the Darren in front of him is just a figment of his imagination. But he takes that Darren's advice, he sheds his Adam identity, and he runs away and takes the name Darren Linwood. So there are two Darren Linwoods. When Adam's memories start to resurface, he sort of splits personalities. He kind of becomes Adam and then becomes Darren, and the two are kind of separate. He's unaware that his family survived the fire. He thinks they burned. So he's like, this is fine. I'm Adam. I forgot I was Adam, but I'm Adam. Hello. Let's go about our normal lives. It's fine. But obviously his family's alive and they want revenge. So they kidnap Rhea and her boyfriend. So Adam / Darren goes to them gymnasium. He goes to the gymnasium. But before he can get there, Chad has kind of come to. Chad is Rhea's boyfriend, and he's trying to pull his hands out of zip ties, and he's like skinning his own hands trying to get free, and it's disgusting. He breaks one of his hands and he manages to get free. So as Sheila hears Darren / Adam approaching, she leaves the gymnasium to go and meet him, and the crispy mother and father go to like feast on Rhea, and Chris is like, no, that's my true love, I'ma kill you. So he like beats them up and carries his girlfriend to safety. Darren and Sheila kind of have this like spiritual argument, right? And somehow with magic or whatever, Darren manages to set his sister on fire. They escape the school, and then we skip to autumn and we catch up with the real Darren Linwood. He has kind of like drank away his parents' fortune, and he is considering selling his garage because he's kind of a failure. But he gets this delivery from a man who looks familiar. This man's like, here are some BMX bikes. I took your identity, sorry. So in return for you kind of saving my life and not knowing about it, have some BMXs. There's 300 grand's worth here. Do what you want with them. Do we remember at the beginning of this book, during the bicycle auction, Adam / Darren sees a beardy man just like glaring at him like, that beardy man was the real Darren Linwood. So it ends with Adam and Darren riding BMXs into the sunset, and they live happily ever after. This just had me running in circles. I thought like, okay, it's a ghost story. Okay, it's not a ghost story. Okay, maybe it is a ghost story. No, it's definitely not a ghost story. So I'm going to be giving this 4 stars on my Goodreads. I really do think the negative reviews on this book were quite unfair, and they probably didn't give it enough of a chance. Which leads us to the final book in my Vlogtober Spooky Readathon. The Chalk Man by CJ Tudor. I'm pretty sure there was a massive hype around this book, so I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we can end my readathon with a bang. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time with another video.